shoulder or somebody else's arm.
Yeah. But that's legal now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It used to be more fun, and when you could be like, look at that, number 9, that's you. You broke my shoulder. Both teams having a little chat with their coaches. Actually, do you know who the coaches are for Steel Hurton? Because I don't think I've heard them introduced at all this weekend.
Oh, let's take a look.
Oh, yes, there we go.
Barf.
And-
Barf coach
yes.
or Coach Barf. And Temporary Sanity is bench coaching.
There we go. And, of course, Ballistic Whistle for London Brawling, and helped out by Silky Briefs with the pennies
Looks like Snot Rocket Science will be first to take the line for Steel City.
against Vagabond. And both packs, both teams lining up right in front of the Jammers. Steel starting it off and London following.
I'm having champs flashbacks. See what happens, Gotham and Philly, when you do this on the internet and everyone sees you do it.
London's like, ooh, I like that idea. The whistle has been blown, but nobody is moving, except sideways at least. I think London's just given up, and they're like, you know what, we're just going to go. Screw it. Both Jammers stuck behind the walls of both blockers.
Vagabond trying to make her way on the outside and then the inside. Snot Rocket Science right in front of her.
Both Jammers getting worked over there. Vagabond gets the fake out. She's through the inside line. Lead Jammer for London. Snot Rocket trying to be held back by Ina Flash. Looked like a cut. Yes, she got a cutting track major. Snot Rocket goes to the box. Power jam for London in the first jam of the second half.
Steel City racing the pack at the front right now.
Grievous is in front, though. She might have a chance to try and capture somebody. She's just got to figure out who it's going to be. Here comes Vagabond for a scoring pass. Pack is a little fast, though. Vagabond gets pushed out. She calls it. Ballistic Whistle is looking at her like, what are you doing? It was a power jam. But they will start this jam in a power jam situation as well, so all is not lost.
23 London, Steel City 62. Just over 28 minutes left in the second half.
And another funny pack start with London all on their knees. Want to get Cammie out as quickly as possible, get a chance to score. London have captured. I'm not sure who that is that they have captured, but they are trying to slow that pack down.
It's Dakota slamming in the back.
Cammie is through.
Free.
Lead Jammer London. No points yet. She's got to come around for the scoring pass here. The pack is stopped, almost stopped on the pack, very slow.
London is effectively controlling the pack speed right now.
However, all the blockers are there, so...
Right. They've got an option. It looks like they're trying to either control the front of the pack for speed, then they're trying to get to the back of the pack to help their jammer through.
They now have captured Athena, so they are going to try and slow it down and give Cammie a chance to get through and get some points there.
Dress to Kill going to take a seat in the box for Steel Hurton.
Cammie gets through on the 20-foot warning. She gets 5 points for London. The pack still stopped, but Snot Rocket Science is now standing. She's probably going to wait.
Stephanie Maney trying to move Athena out of the way in anticipation of Cammie coming into the pack. Snot Rocket Science rejoins the pack while Allie McKill is holding Cammie at the back.
This is Snot Rocket's first pass still, though, so Cammie can still score here and have a little safety net. Looks like she's got a couple points there, trying to get past Athena on the outside. Snot Rocket is out. Cammie calls it. Looked like 3 points for London there.
Skyrocket is taking a seat in the penalty box for London.
And Allie McKill and Dress to Kill both in the penalty box for Steel. London taking a knee again in the pack. We've got Snot Rocket Science versus 04 Fox Sake on the jammer line.
31 London, 62 Steel City.
Snot Rocket Science putting a little hurt on Fox right off the line there. She is doing a little obstructional blocking there. Fox trying to juke around her, but it's not working yet. They both hit the back of the pack. Snot Rocket is able to get through, getting a little help from Damaged Doll. She is whipped around, and she's out of the pack first. Lead jammer for Steel Hurton. She's slowing down, though. It looks like she's going to try and suck Fox back into that pack. Fox doing her best to get around her.
Fox makes her move to the outside.
Fox does not have lead jammer, but she is literally on the tail of Snot Rocket Science. Snot Rocket trying to slow her down.
Looks like J-Bomb taking a seat in the penalty box for Steel City.
They're both just playing with each other, really, because Snot has lead jammer, and she could probably call it off any second she wants, obviously. And Fox is like, all right, we'll go for the ride here. Just trying to get all the steel blockers out of the box, I believe.
Allie McKill and Skyrocket, jammer blockers for both team, rejoining the pack.
And now the pack speeds up a bit. Snot Rocket still slowing down Fox's sake. They are now both hitting the back of the pack. Snot Rocket's trying to line it up so she can get a couple points and call it. She is pushed out, and she did get 2 points there. No points for Fox's sake, so 2 points for Steel, none for London. It looks like 31-64, 24-55 left in the final half of this tournament in this game.
Cammie is on the line for London, joined by Hurricane Heather for Steel City. What was it that Justice was telling us at the half, that it was a 19-20 game if you took all of the power jam situations out of the scores
That
for
is
the
correct.
first half?
Yeah, and so, you know, if you think about all the penalties that various teams have had, if you clean it up, ladies, it might be a different game. Hurricane Heather putting a little hit on Kamikaze Kitten there. Cammie trying to take the outside. Stuck behind 2 steel blockers. Hurricane Heather stuck behind 3 London blockers at the back of the pack. Stephanie Maney giving a little help. Hurricane Heather and Cammie both out, literally touching, but Kamikaze Kitten gets the lead jammer call.
It really looked like Hurricane Heather pushed Cammie out of the pack.
Yeah, I think she actually helped her out. But literally, Hurricane Heather is right on her tail, so I don't know if Cammie's going to get a chance to score. She calls it as Hurricane Heather passes her. Hurricane's got a little speed on Cammie, I believe. TNN bench getting a little love from Montreal on the sideline.
The Montreal and Charm City after party has begun over in the VIP section next to the DNN table. It's a sight to see.
I see they're indulging in a little bit of the British cider as well.
Ooh.
Delicious. Oh, so deceptively stronger than beer.
Vagabond on the line for London, and Snot Rocket Science for Steel City. Pack is at a crawl.
And there's the jammer whistle. Vagabond hops up first. Tries to hop through the inside, outside. Oh,
Right
Snot
now,
Rocket.
Snot Rocket Science finds a hole on the inside, runs to the front of the pack, then stays at the front of the pack to wait for Cammie, or Vagabond.
For Vagabond,
rather.
yes. So doing the same thing she did last time she jammed. Trying to slow down the London jammer, either get her sucked back in or just run down the clock a bit, I guess. Also, Steel has quite a few people in the box, so she might be trying to get a little time to get those people out. Vagabond trying to look for that opportunity to fake her way around Snot Rocket, but hasn't worked so far. Slowly but surely, the pack is catching up with them.
Vagabond blocking again on Snot Rocket Science, trying to move her out of her way. Now she's taking an outside approach. Jukes to the inside, still behind Snot Rocket Science. A little bit of one-on-one action going on in the pack as it speeds up just a bit.
Oh, Vagabond does manage to get through her on the inside. But Snot Rocket is still the lead jammer, so.
Right now there's a 4-2 pack advantage for London.
And Snot Rocket calls it.
Just under 22 minutes on the clock.
Kamikaze Kitten versus Hurricane Heather on the jam line. All 4 London blockers taking a knee immediately.
London 31, Steel City 64.
Wow, Steel City is starting with a single blocker, Allie McKill. They've got 2 blockers standing in the pack. Hurricane Heather trying to play a little extra defense on Cammie.
Cammie runs and jukes through the inside. She's your lead jammer. Crowd likes this.
3 black blockers at the front, trying to hold back Steel Yellow. Hurricane Heather trying to bash her way through that front defense line. Stephanie Maney recycling up. Nexus of Yvonne giving her a little bit of trouble on the inside. And Kamikaze Kitten has reached the pack for a scoring pass. Hurricane sees her and says, "Ooh, maybe I'll try and stop you."
Allie McKeel and Dress to Kill trying to break up the London front wall.
Kamikaze around the outside with a little help from her pack. She is through for a 5-point pass. Hurricane Heather still behind Stephanie Maney, so she has not finished her first pass yet.
She's trying to jump around the inside. Stephanie Maney takes her to the inside, and she decides to keep on going.
Kamikaze completes another scoring pass, and she's going to call it. That's a 10-point jam for London Brawling, if I am not mistaken. Yep, that's going to make it, not quite, 40-64. 24-point game with 20 minutes left in the final half of this tournament.
So here we have a point differential that could be made up in one jam easily.
Absolutely.
Depending on the situation.
Foxake again lining up to jam against Not Rocket Science.
Got
3-on-3 in the pack.
One blocker from each team sitting in the penalty box.
Another slow start for the pack. Bench coaches both yelling at their teams. London saying go, Steel saying stop. Okay, and the jammers are off. Oh, Fox
Athena
taking a
takes
hit.
Huge hit on Fox that ends up actually taking down the Steel City blocker for a moment as well.
Oh, Fox sneaking through the inside, and she's lead jammer for London. Oh, Snot Rocket is out, though. About a half lap behind her, but I bet she's going to catch up a little bit.
And the Crippler takes a seat in the penalty box for Steel City.
Athena and Bone Crusher getting up there. Oh, no, it looks like Fox just got sent to the box. Meanwhile, Snot Rocket on a scoring pass, trying to get past Ina Flash. There she does.
On this power jam for Steel City.
5 points for the Steel City Power Jam. London Jammer in the box. And now the London Blockers have escaped the pack. Oh, I spoke too soon. They just captured Ninjet. Oh,
wow.
Snot Rocket just leaping through the last two London Blockers. But that was a major. She is being sent off. I think she got a back block. I'm not sure. I didn't see the ref signal.
Lots of one-on-one in the pack as Athena and Raw Heidi are proactively trying to break up each other's team's walls.
Snot Rocket taking her time to get to the box there. Fox waiting for her to sit so she can go. And she gets the signal. She is out. Now
Steel
it's a
City.
power jam for London.
Looks like Steel City's trying to take a little bit of a lead in speeding up the pack here. London is one-on-one trying to keep that from happening. Athena waited for Fox, but Fox slipped right around her. She has Bone Crusher left to pass. She's trying to make the pass on the outside. Now there's a Bone Crusher and Athena wall. And Fox takes another
goes to the
penalty.
box. That's the second trip to the box in this jam alone for Fox's sake.
So we've got what should be a musical jammer situation right at the end of that jam. Both jammers are seated in the box right now. Athena from Steel City joins them.
Snot Rocket will be sent out, I believe. Oh, referee timeout. Gonna have a little chit chat about that one, I believe.
17:31 the stop clock right now. Steel City 72, London 40. Right about now is the time that we like to tell you about our wonderful DNN sponsors who make all of this possible. Of course, we'd like to thank viewers like you who support DNN. If you have time, if you have an extra $1 or $2, please take the time to donate. 100% of your viewer donations go to funding the costs of broadcast. We thank you, the DNN viewer, for making what we do possible. We would also like to thank one of our biggest sponsors this year, Atom Wheels. Atom's first official hybrid wheel is here. What floor do you skate on? It doesn't matter. Poisons will grip anywhere. Poisons are available now in slim width and with aluminum alloy hubs. Atom also brings you the Juke and the Juke 2.0. It allows a skater to maneuver, speed up, slow down much easier. They also allow for quicker hockey stops and faster recovery. Try some today from Atom Wheels, atomwheels.com, or you could order them from Fast Girl Skates.
Absolutely. We love to order from Fast Girl. I got my skates from her.
I believe there were a few suitcases worth of orders that came this way
Don't
from
tell
Seattle.
customs. Yes. Yeah, London ordered a fair few bit of items from Fast Girl because we knew they were coming over. And not only did they support Derby News Network in this broadcast and all of their broadcasts, But they also have a vendor stall at Anarchy in the UK, so supporting the tournament in multiple ways.
And they've pretty much completely sold out of everything
Yes.
that they brought. Something they sell out of on a regular basis in the store and at other tournaments is the Antic skate boot. Beautiful, beautiful boots that can be custom ordered. They're beautiful even without custom ordering and custom designs. They are said to be one of the most comfortable skate boots out there. People say that they're like walking on clouds, like walking on marshmallows. Someone even said they're like walking on a boot full of puppies and kittens.
I'm not sure I want to do that. but sounds great.
Your sport in super comfortable, very, super exciting looking, super awesome, amazing, much like creator Mo Quadzilla Sanders, Antic skate boots.
The Green Monster. All right, we are about to start back again. That was a long time out, 2.5 minutes so far. It is Power Jam for London, it looks like, and Vegablonde is on the track. Not sure what happened there. I thought Fox was gone to the box in the last one, but they obviously had a little confab and decided that London gets a jammer.
Looks like Steel City is trying to speed up the pack. Vegablonde trying to fight her way through a 2-wall with the help of Axis.
And she gets past Allie McHale on the outside. It's not rocket science is in the pack now, though, out of the box and in the pack.
Vegablonde is your lead jammer.
I think Snot Rocket just got a, back blocking major. And still a power jam for London here.
Allie McHale.
There goes Vegablonde.
Wow, the crowd is on its feet and just insane right now. Full penalty box for Steel City, including their jammer. Here comes another blocker. I'm sure that she's going to be waved off of the box, but Athena is standing.
Only damage doll on the track right now. Another 5-pointer. That's 15 points so far for Vegablonde. That is going to have an impact
London
on this scoreline.
Slowing the pack, reversing the pack, containing the one sole Steel Hurton blocker left.
There she goes again.
Easy for her to take another 5 points on this pass.
The audience is going insane.
I wonder if anyone can even hear us.
Athena is in the pack now, but Vegablonde jukes right past her. That is 25 points.
Everyone knows what's happening here. Here comes a Steel City blocker. Let's just turn our microphones this way for a minute. Unbelievable. London takes the lead by 1 point.
Oh my gosh.
Snot Rocket Science has returned to the track. She's made it her initial pass, and Vegablonde calls off the jam.
Listen to the audience. Unbelievable. London in the lead by 1 point. That jam was 30 points to 0. 30-point jam for Vegablonde. Unbelievable. The entire audience is on its feet. What an exciting last game.
Just over 15 minutes on the clock. 1 point game with London in the lead. If you're at home, enjoy a dance or an adult beverage because we're all celebrating here. London's been making history all weekend, but I believe that history was just now made again by Vegablonde.
I believe so. All right, let's see if they can hold it together, though, because that's the true test, right?
Hurricane Heather is on the line for Steel City, joined by Cammie for London. Two on two in the pack. Looks like Poison Arrow and Ninjette for London. Snot Rocket Science.
I'm trying to be calm here, but I'm actually shaking a little bit.
I have tears in my eyes. The Crippler and Snot Rocket Science are the pack right now for Steel City.
Snot Rocket going back to have a little chat with Hurricane Heather. 2 on 2.
Clock is stopped at 15 minutes and 1 second now.
That was unbelievable.
Cannot believe that. We're in a Steel City timeout.
You know, Vegablonde's actually been a little bit out with an injury for a while, so she's been saving herself for this weekend, I guess.
Well, whatever she did, it sounds like she made the right choice.
Exactly.
The London bench is just really pretty much buzzing.
Yeah.
Everyone's so focused.
And Cammy and Hurricane Heather both hitting the pack at the same time.
Here's Cammy trying to make it past the Crippler
Oh.
in the front of the pack and Snot Rocket Science, but Hurricane Heather is out with lead for Steel City.
Cammy trying to get a little help from Ninjet there. Poison fell out, and she is trying to come back up to give a little help to her jammer. Fast pack. Hurricane Heather still a half lap behind the pack because the pack is racing as the steel blockers try to stay in front of Cammy and not let her through.
One more London blocker in Axis joining the pack. Pack advantage to London now.
Looks like Cammy is saying, hey, maybe I'll play blocker here too.
Ninjet giving her an assist up towards the front. She takes an inside past Axis. She's still got Crippler and Snot Rocket Science to pass. Here comes Heather. She's coming through for points this time.
Axis of Eon holding her back, trying to keep her there. Oh, she's going to get the inside line there, so she's going to come through.
Skyrocket's back in the pack, but unfortunately Heather is out behind in front of her. She'll take 5 points for that pass.
We're going to have a lead change again for here. 72 to 76 now. Hurricane Heather still in scoring position. Cammy has not made it through the pack here, so a little bit of change from that last jam. But the pack is going still very fast.
It's not rocket science. Backwards and forwards, checking to make sure that she's got a good solid wall to keep Cammy in that pack. Here comes Hurricane Heather.
Oh.
She's passed 3 London skaters now. She's
And
taking an
she's
assist
passed.
from Snot Rocket Science. She'll pick up another 5 points.
Things change so quickly in Derby. There goes Cammy. She is now out of the pack. But I believe that Hurricane Heather will go for some more points before she tries to call it off. Steel slowing that pack down a little bit, so Hurricane Heather is able to hop around the outside. A great jam for Hurricane Heather there, actually. I think that was a good 15 points for Steel, so we change it up again.
86 Steel City, 72 London. Just under 13 minutes left to play in the second half.
Woo, it's getting real exciting in here.
Fox Sake is on the line for London. Skating against, I can't see.
That is Mean Burrito. I recognize the leggings. That's the great thing about Montreal. You can always tell who their players are because they have such distinctive leggings and outfits. Or as Plastic Patrick was saying, oh, we got a timeout here. So we're gonna
Interesting. With 12:28 on a stop clock, we've got Steel City taking their last timeout.
Yeah, that is interesting.
London's still got 2 timeouts left.
And they will use them if they need to. I remember when Justice wrote his article in 5x5 magazine about how to play the last 5 minutes of the game.
I remember this too,
Yes.
and I was really, really grateful to see it in print after years of hearing him complain about people's poor clock management. He's got a lot of wisdom to share, and we thank him for that.
It was good timing for us because it was right before our East Coast tour, and so we got a clock in there and practiced.
So smart.
All right, looks like the teams are coming back on the track. Timeout coming to an end here. Vega Blonde versus Snot Rocket Science on the jam line. Just waiting for the whistle. Judge Knott, head referee for this bout. Just checking with the outside pack ref. He is back in the center now. It looks like we are ready to go.
10 skaters on the track.
Nobody in the box. A very slow start for the pack again. Both teams trying to gain the advantage, get in the right positions for the jammers to come through.
Athena tries to take
Oh!
a hit of Vagabond and
Vega
misses.
Blonde!
She's out and calls off the jam as soon as she takes lead.
I think Vega Blonde is on 3 minors, so that's why she called it. I think. I don't know.
Just under 12 minutes now. 72 London, Steel City 86.
Ah, yes. Vega Blonde definitely was on 3 minors because now she is cougaring, trying to clear her minors.
Cammy on the line for London, skating against Snot Rocket Science for Steel. looks like Dress to Kill and Athena trying to hold back Ninjette from helping her jammer as they push Snot Rocket Science through the front of the pack. She's your lead jammer.
Oh, Cammy bouncing off the back of Ally McKill. She is still in the pack. Snot Rocket Science is out. 3-on-2 pack advantage for Steele here, so Cammy's not having an easy time of it.
Front wall of Ally McKill and Athena is a little bit intimidating. She's looking for an inside
Ooh,
line.
Athena goes down.
Athena goes down, and so does another Steele blocker who just took a huge tumble, somersaulting over herself on the inside line. I think that she might be injured. We're probably about to see play stop right now. I don't know if that's the crippler. I can't see who it was. That was sort of gymnastics tumble.
Yeah, she went head over.
Times.
Yeah, right over Athena, actually.
Put your helmet on!
She's already up on her own steam, on her own feet. Looks like that was Dress to Kill. She's looking a little bit sore, but right back onto her bench. I'm sure that a medic will come and check her out and make sure she's safe. Stopped clock is 10 minutes and 50 seconds. 72 London, 90 for Steel City. So where's Vagabond with another 30-point jam, huh?
That would make it real interesting, wouldn't it? All right, Steele coming out to the line. And it looks like it's going to be Hurricane Heather versus Fox Sake. Two blockers in the box for London. One blocker in the box for Steele. So again, a 3-on-2 advantage for Steele.
Relatively the same blocker lineup in the pack that was so effective last time for Steele.
Oh, Fox goes down off the back of Ally McKill.
Athena goes down as well. Hurricane Heather is out and lead jammer. Fox has one to pass and she takes it on the inside. She is not lead jammer, but she's been released from the pack.
And Vagabond comes in as a blocker now. And London rushing to the front of that pack.
Wall of steel in the back, trying to assist Hurricane Heather right now.
London trying to stay in front, not let Hurricane Heather score. Looks like she did pass somebody there. Couple more, one more.
Vagabond and Raw Heidi holding her right now at the front. Looks like Skyrocket's assisting.
And Vagabond unfortunately gets majored for out of play, and she's sent to the box, which is probably not what London was looking to do because they were trying to clear her minors so she could jam again. A little too enthusiastic there.
72 London, 94 Steel City. Just under 10 minutes left to play in the second half.
Crowd starting up with a chant of "Let's go London," started by Montreal and Charm, which is lovely. Thank you very much, ladies. Kamikaze Kitten versus Snot Rocket Science, number 6 versus number 9.
3-2 pack advantage right now for London. There's a London wall in the back anticipating Snot Rocket Science approach. Here comes Cammy. Her teammates let her through. They're going to trap Snot Rocket Science if they can. She's out with lead.
She juked her on the outside of the crippler and then came on the inside of Damaged Doll.
Snot Rocket Science out of the pack now past the last London blocker.
London trying to make some points off the steel blockers. Athena comes back in. And here comes Cammy for the scoring pass.
Athena
she gets past
goes for
Athena,
a
but she
big
slips. Oh, Athena goes out to the box. Cammy calls it.
Just in time
Just
for
in
Snot
time.
Rocket Science to almost leap over
Yeah.
her.
It was like a one-footed glide. It looked like some kind of ice skating maneuver, didn't it?
A little over 8 minutes counting down on the clock right now. 72 London, 94 Steel City.
Fox Sake again versus Hurricane Heather. Pretty much seen the same jammers over and over again for this whole game. If it's working, stay with it. London takes an E and the jammers start immediately.
Fox Sake is looking for her hole right now. 2 wall of Steel City in front of her. Allie McKill trying to take her to the outside. She is not successful, while Heather tries to advance on the inside.
And Ina holds her back, so both jammers still in the pack. Fox trying to get past a wall of 2 blockers in the front, and she gets a little help from Ina on the inside. She is through. Fox Sake is lead jammer for London.
Heather being held back by a 3-wall of London at the front right now. Looks like Steel City is trying to trap a goat in Ninjet. They're going to have to let Heather go.
Ina Flash is going out to the box. I think that was her 4th minor.
Heather is very close behind Fox, chasing right now. I think Fox is probably going to try and...
Nope.
And she does.
She's going to call it. I don't think anyone's scoring in the past few jams. We went from a 30 points to a 0.
75 London, 94 Steel City. 7 minutes and less every second that goes by. Winding down on the clock.
Once again, London taking a knee. They want to start the jams as quickly as possible because they're trying to play catch-up. Kamikaze Kitten on the jam line versus Snot Rocket Science.
Athena is standing in the penalty box.
And Ina Flash is sitting down for London.
Looks like Athena's ready to rejoin the pack right now.
Yep, she is coming around the outside.
Kamikaze Kitten just sort of swimming through some of her own teammates as well as Snot Rocket Science.
And Stephanie Maney recycling real quick up the front there, trying to get Snot Rocket Science, but she's just a little too agile, skips around her. Cammy at the back behind Athena. Woe is me.
Axis Vivon is trying to help out her jammer, holds off Athena.
Here comes Snot Rocket for a scoring pass.
A little bit. Athena's ready to go in there and help. Snot Rocket Science doesn't need it. She made her own hole, but she takes a tumble on the inside. Stephanie Maney is going to go to the box for that tumble.
Snot Rocket gets 3 points. No points for London. So again, Steel City itching up that lead slowly but surely. 75-97 with 5:40 left on the clock. We are very close to breaking the 100 finally on this game.
Vagabond is on the line for London, joined by Hurricane Heather for Steel City.
Finally, Vagabond gets another chance to jam. Beset by the penalties.
Incredible 4-1 pack advantage to Steel.
Oh,
right
Vagabond goes down. A little trip there. So that leaves Hurricane Heather well out in front and easy through for her.
At the time, she had nothing but her own teammates to pass on the inside, so she made it right through.
Vagabond gets a nice hit off Bone Crusher, but she manages to stay up. Hurricane Heather approaching the back of the pack, but the pack is going pretty fast. Oh,
wow.
Vagabond taken down on the side there.
Hurricane Heather's now in front of her, ready to take her scoring pass. Skirts all 3 London skaters on the outside. She's through for 5. Vagabond is right on her heels, going to the penalty box. Hurricane Heather has broken 3 digits, 102 Steel City, 75 London, and she's got more scoring passes. There's over 1 minute left in this jam.
And here she comes again.
She just sort of jumped and skipped her way right through that pack. She'll take 5 more points.
Leaning her way around Poison Arrow at the front there, and another score for Hurricane Heather. 3 London, full pack for London. Finally, 4 blockers on the pack. Only 2 for Steel City, but here comes Hurricane Heather again. London's going to have to try and stay in front of her.
Looks like Damage Doll is trying to race up to the front of the pack to help her jammer through. 3-wall of London at the front, successfully keeping Hurricane Heather. Then she finds an inside line. She's pushed to the inside, so she has to go back to the back of the pack.
Stephanie Maney looking for a major on Hurricane Heather there. But I think that she stopped a little bit further back, 20 feet, so Hurricane Heather got to come through. Vagabond back in the pack, and Hurricane Heather sees her just in time and calls it. And London going for a timeout. They've got 2 left. They're going to take one now. 3:25 left on the clock. 75 London, 110 Steel City. Could be a tough call for London to come back here. Although if Vagabond pulls out another 30, you never know.
Both benches are a little bit intense.
You could say that.
Just a little. I wish we could see the whiteboards.
Yeah. I wish I could see the back of the jammer shirts. That's okay. We know them all now. There's only
Right.
been like, what, 4 or 5 jammers in the entire bout. So.
Yeah, wearing the star right now, conferring with their teams, is Cami, as well as Not Rocket Science.
Ballistic leading a little chant with the London bench there.
Crowd is cheering. Looks like Hurricane Heather is going to join Cami on the jam line. 2 full packs. No one in the box.
That hasn't happened in a while.
Slow pack.
Hurricane Heather doing a little extra defense on Cami there. Cami tries to take the outside and then the inside. There is a wall of yellow at the front, though, so she is going to have trouble getting through.
Stephanie Maney is handling Hurricane Heather until she slips around her on the inside.
There
She's
she
your lead
goes.
jammer.
Steel City really owning the front of the pack lately here. Oh, Cami is able to get through, though, as London slows the pack down, and then they have to quickly speed up again
Here
because
comes Hurricane Heather
here
for
she
points.
goes.
She's only got 2 London skaters to pass, and she's got Captain Ally McKill at the front, making her a hole. She's through very easily for 5 points. 5 points? 4 points. 4 points. She's got 4.
And she is not calling it yet. What is she? Oh. Hurricane Heather actually kind of stopping and going back to the pack. I must not have been paying attention. Is this Cami? This is Cami's scoring pass, I believe, so I'm not quite sure what Hurricane Heather's doing, actually.
Skating backwards, pausing, examining the pack.
Cami gets through. That's 4 points for Cami. I think Hurricane Heather's trying to run the clock down, actually.
Absolutely. There is, as of right this second, less than 2 minutes on the clock. So Hurricane Heather killing as much clock time as she can.
Rawhide going to the box for London.
Steele is keeping the pace, not exactly fast, but relatively quick.
And now it all speeds up a little bit. Jammer is still going pretty slow, but the pack is starting to speed up as Steele takes the front of the pack.
Hurricane Heather is now taking a knee, skating in a crouch position, blocking a little on Cami.
Doing a little shooting the duck and some fancy footwork there. Somebody spent their childhood at the rink.
Rink rat. Stopped clock. Timeout London at 1:24 seconds. 79 London. Steel City 114.
Ooh. Vega Blonde on the jam line.
Considering her 30-point jam, this makes some sense.
Yep. Although she's going to have to pull something slightly better out to win this one.
It looks like the Crippler is taking the star for this possibly last jam of the last bout.
I think
between Steel
this
City
is the first
and London.
time that Crippler's jammed in this game, if I'm not mistaken. She has jammed a lot this weekend.
I think so.
Again, crowd starting up with the chant of "Let's go London."
One London skater sitting in the box right now, so we've got a slight pack advantage to Steel City at the beginning of this jam. Pack is not only not moving forward, but gently edging their way backward.
It's not going anywhere, is it? There we go. Starting to move now. Steel edging a few players out. And the jammers take off. Oh, the Crippler goes down. And Vega Blonde goes out, and the Crippler is going to take that inside line easy.
That wasn't even an inside line. That was an inside lane.
Yeah. Vega Blonde knocked to the outside. Ina Flash going to the box. So there are only 2 London blockers on the track. And here comes the Crippler for a scoring pass. And again, a whole lane on the inside. Only 2 blockers for London. They are not able.
VIP service in the pack.
Yeah. She's going to take those long legs and just hop right around everyone.
She has got now only 40 seconds left on the period clock to kill, taking her time. Vagabond is definitely looking for a direction to move around her.
She's trying to hop and jump and fake her out, but it's just not working. Crippler's going to
These are
stay in
two
front of her.
really agile skaters, and Crippler seems to have excellent awareness, so she's keeping an eye on Vagabond and is not likely to let her come around.
Oh, well, actually, Vagabond didn't get a little
Or
edge
maybe
in.
not.
She got through in front of her.
Maybe she'll make her a hole.
But I don't think it makes any difference because they're still right next to each other. And once again, the Crippler's in front of her. Neither one of them catching up to the back right
Period.
now.
Clock runs out.
And
the
there it
Crippler calls
is.
it. That's the game.
79 to 119. Steel City takes the last game of the tournament. London not winning a game, but getting better each time, so I'm sure they're happy anyway.
This is nice low point differential for London to finish out the weekend.
Yes, definitely. And Steel Hurton takes the track for the victory lap.
Just about the entire room rushing out to greet both teams and congratulate them. This has been an incredible weekend of Derby in London.
Black and yellow on the DJ.